Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Parker's Podcast. This week, I am recording my Substack newsletter as a podcast again because my wrist is still a little sore and I don't feel like typing another long form article this week. Plus, this gives me a chance to add another podcast to my podcast feed and help try to get that launched. We're still working on trying to get it on Apple Podcasts and YouTube Podcasts. I believe it is out there on Spotify and a few other podcast networks as well. So far, people said the audio quality has seemed pretty well with recording it here on my MacBook Air. So we'll just keep trying for that for now. So for this week, I want to just take a moment and talk about a privacy service that I use to protect my privacy online that I highly recommend. So in a previous newsletter, I discussed the importance of identity theft protection. I use Identity Force through TransUnion, and I have it through a company called Cyberteam US, where I have a bundle with them that has the identity theft protection. Plus, it gives me my antivirus, my mobile device security, a password manager, a VPN, an encrypted email, and everything in one bundle. Cyberteamus.com is where you can look for that. And I talked about the importance of identity theft protection, where my social security number actually ended up on a totally different person's arrest record, which was alarming. And it was caught quickly and resolved. It was a clerical error that was put in place. And so it just shows the importance of having identity theft protection. So if you don't have it, I highly recommend visiting cyberteamus.com and having them set you up with it. Another great service that is also included in the bundle from cyberteamus.com is a service called Officer Privacy. It's a service that was originally kind of marketed for law enforcement officers as a way of keeping their personal information off the internet so that criminals couldn't take their personal information and try to seek out where they're at and try to cause harm to them. But the service is also used for the general public as well, where the general public can sign up for the service as well. And Cyberteam US offers the service included in their bundles. And here's the benefit for it and the reason why that I personally use the service. So your personal information is sold out there to these data broker websites, where if you type your name into a search engine, you're going to see all these info websites and people info websites that logs your name and address and contact information, and they have all this information out there about you. And it can increase scam calls and spam or junk email that you get. But also people can use some of this information for nefarious purposes. I've had people try to look up some of my colleagues and coworkers' information out there on the internet in the past. And so I recommend this Officer Privacy service that I have included in my Cyberteam US bundle, because all that information is removed off of those data broker websites for you. There's a few ways that you can go about doing this. There are some websites out there that will claim that they can help you remove the information for free. The problem I found with some of these free websites out there is, one, you can't really trust where your data is going, so you're still handing your data over to servers that sometimes are hosted in another country, so who knows what's happening with your data. The other thing with them is that I tried to manually remove my data off of some of these data broker websites in the past, and it's like a game of whack-a-mole where it gets removed and then it can get re-added, and you just have to keep going over and over and over with it. Officer Privacy is a company that is based in the USA, and they only hire people in the USA that are law enforcement officers, so people that they can trust with your personal data. And they offer two different plans. They do offer a self-service plan at a cheaper price, where if you want to remove the information yourself, there's a tool that you can use and software that you can log in and self-remove the data. At least with that, you are trusting the software and the service itself because you're using software and services that are made in the USA, hosted in the USA, from a company that you can trust, that's law enforcement officers backing the service. But the service that I have that's included in my cyberteamus.com bundle is the premium plan, where they will actually assign a law enforcement officer who will do the monitoring and the removal for you. They do an initial removal. Sometimes it takes a month or a couple months to get all the data removed off of those data broker websites. And then they're just constantly monitoring those data broker websites and any new data broker websites that come online, and they go and they remove the data for you continuously off those websites and make sure that the data stays removed. And so it's just a great peace of mind knowing that you've got law enforcement officers that have your back, that are protecting your personal information out there that's out on the internet and getting it removed and helping you regain your privacy. So if this is a type of service that you believe that you would benefit from, I know I've personally benefited from it and have recommended it to others. It's called Officer Privacy, and the quickest way that you can get access to the premium plan would be through my friends at Cyberteam US. Go to cyberteamus.com and you can get that, plus the identity theft protection that I mentioned in the previous newsletter, as well as that bundle of services that includes your antivirus, your password manager, your mobile device security, and VPN and encrypted email. And I'll talk about some of those other services in future newsletters. So check them out. That's all I have for you this week. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Parker's Podcast, and I also look forward to getting back to writing more Substack newsletters as well, as soon as my wrist wants to cooperate a little bit better. So hope you have a great weekend, and talk to you later.